With all this chat about profitability, I wanted to offer some generally useful strategies that young lawyers can adopt in their habits and their day-to-day practices that are actually going to help them remain financial contributors to their firm. And generally speaking, depending on your seniority and your level, that's going to involve two main things. The first is ensuring that you're doing the work that needs to be done without sinking time into things that don't need to be done. And the second is, so far as possible, ensuring that you get paid. So how can we control those sorts of things? The first problem that sometimes happens is this time leakage issue. Now, if you're recording in 6-minute units as you go, as I know a lot of firms still do, but some are starting not to, then you can identify this very easily, which is, if you get to the end of a 10-hour day and you've recorded 2 hours of time, then you've lost some time in there, and it's probably about 8 hours worth of time. You are always going to lose a little bit because we can't capture everything, and sometimes you go out for a coffee or whatever, and there might not be something that you record. But leaked time is a real problem. Often it's a desktop discounting situation where the junior lawyer says, oh, I spent too long on that, I'd better only record 30 minutes even though I spent an hour and a half. That's a big problem, and that's not your call. If you think you spent too long on something, the question is why, but it's not about you making less time. Don't forget that if I, after 15 years, can do something in half an hour, it doesn't mean that you, after 15 days in practice, should be able to do that thing in half an hour too. It is not the same situation. It is accounted for in the amount you are paid, and it is accounted for in the amount that you are charged to the client, if that's a relevant factor. So don't freak out and don't discount your time. If you feel you're taking too long over stuff, it's good to ask the question why and to be self-aware and reflective about that, but not just to arbitrarily make decisions on behalf of people who own the business, not to bill for that time. So that is one issue. Second issue has a tendency to be related to not knowing what we're doing. So you embark on a particular task and you end up spending hours and hours on something that actually didn't need to be done or wasn't fruitful or productive. So this is linking into productivity and linking into revenue. It has the wasted time aspect to it. This is usually a function of the fact that you haven't spent a few minutes planning out how you're going to achieve your task in the first place. Okay? So what is going to be the issue is usually that you have decided to do something, but you haven't mapped out the whole task. The best thing you can do is to actually sit down at the start of your task and go, right, what are the steps for me to deliver this particular outcome? And then you're going to be able to do it. The next thing I wanted to suggest is that you monitor as you go. How long are things taking? Are you on budget? Consider the WIP. If you're looking at work in progress on a file on a regular basis, you can track how far things are going, how long they're taking. Are you on target to deliver this job on time and within budget? These are the things that as a young lawyer you can start doing to start really contributing. Okay, some practical strategies. So next time you start your file or your task, map out what you're going to do. Okay, keep on target. How long should each thing take? Don't use it as a thing to beat yourself with. Use it as a thing to help guide you along the way and help bring to the attention of your partner or your client where something might be a little bit off track or taking longer than expected. Those are my simple strategies. There are many more we could talk about, but we're not going to do it today.